Yeah, good morning everyone, good morning. So we have AliExpress shoe here, work in progress. This is my test shoe, plus my version 4, which is obviously the dog's bollocks, basically the best shoes you can buy. So what I want to do is look at the paint. So this is the effect that these shoes have, which is sweet. And the AliExpress shoes, sadly, come with basically, I would say, very, very bad paint these days. Yes, they are dirt cheap, of course. That's the thing. That's the offset, of course. But yeah, I would say very, very bad speckles. So, been experimenting. This one here, Aqua. I mean, basically, these shoes here are basically meant to be Aqua, but of course, there's so many different shades of Aqua. This just being one shade in acrylic that I picked up, which isn't exactly the same colour, but you know what, I thought I'd try it anyway. So I just put a bit on here. It goes sort of blobby, which is what you want. Now I had a look on the internet, put a bit of water in, which is basically about 30% water it recommends. So not too, obviously not too thin, otherwise it becomes too watery, doesn't dry, lumpy kind of gist. So done that there. And pan outside. Literally took like 1 minute to do this. And then a quick test on there. In my opinion, that looks bloody good. It does. Bear in mind, that's just a quick go. Obviously, I know that when I load up the stick with paint, obviously you get ginormous lumps, which you obviously don't want. But if you just dip it in and sort of really flick it, sort of sideways at an angle, I'll quickly show you. There's quite a lot there. Like this. Like that. That kind of gist, you know. Then you get that sort of blob with the line on, which is what you want, which is the finish on the version 4 shoes. Right, yeah, as you can see, quick mask up job. Obviously, it's more hassle. I've got the letters on the back, but obviously, in hindsight, and when you do it in the future, it'll be much easier. You know, once you remove the bubble, put a bit of paper in there, don't have the letters on the back, that kind of gist. So anyway, it's masked up. I put some additional fabric underneath it just because obviously I don't want any paint like seeping through. Right then, yep, here we go. So it looks really good, I reckon. So I'm at this stage. It's obviously really hard to get the paint on the shoe. Most of the paint seems to go everywhere else, but of course you are doing it at random flicks, random angles, trying to get it completely random on the shoe. So that's obviously what to be expected. I used a couple of goes of paint, mixed in with a little bit of water. Obviously it's not too much water because you don't want it sort of splatting as such, but bear in mind I'm absolutely zero expert at this. I just know that you don't want it too thin. That's the main thing. But yeah, it looks cool. So I'll peel off the masking tape later, have a look at it, and decide if I'm going to touch up the blue, with additional bits of green. Right, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. So I've just gone over with the stick, literally, and the rest of the paint, and it's sort of gone over any blue bits, and added extra sort of like lines and things like that, to try and keep it sort of flowing and make it look like it's random. But obviously I'd actually decided, I need to cover up the blue whilst I've got the paint out. I might as well. So I think it looks good as it is. So anyway, I'll let it dry now, and then I'll take it off and see how it looks. Cool. Right, I'm just going to paint the other one now. I mean, I would definitely say that this is, without a doubt, in terms of a paint job, much better paint job than this. But of course, this isn't the exact right colour. So I think if this was the right colour, more colour of the 3.14s, a little bit darker, basically, it would look particularly good. But however, I'm in it now, so I need to paint this one to match, and then I can peel it all off later, and then if required, repaint the Mag letters in the same colour so it obviously matches. So it's just a bit of trial and error on this one here, just a test pair of shoes, that's all. But I can definitely say, in my opinion, that this one here looks way better than this original paint, so that's cool. Right, let me go and crack on and do this one. A bit on the technique again, so that. That's all it is. So you get the idea, different angles, that kind of gist. Right, that'll do. Right, and yeah, I'm just gonna quickly peel off the paper. I mean, what I would say is right now they do look, they're basically the wrong colour, yeah, but they do look way different and way better than the blue that was on there. And I say I can't see any of the blue now either as well. So I think they're pretty sweet. Obviously, you can tell when I look at them, think, It's pretty sweet, but it's obviously not exactly the same style as the other one. The other ones on the 3.1s that I showed, or sort of 4s that I showed you earlier, they're more sort of delicate, a splodge. You know, they're more like a little dot and a thin line. So it's definitely sort of different consistency and technique, or thickness of paint. But of course, on this one here, I was trying, of course, to cover off lots of the blue, so that they had many big blue dots. And obviously, doing the technique on the 4 would not have covered over those blobs. I had to do bigger bits, you know, in order to cover it. So I feel that this is pretty damn sweet. So let me peel it off now and have a look at them. Right, yeah, Pyle, welcome. So here's a final part of the video. So yeah, the shoes look really good. What I would say, lessons learned, is that it's the wrong colour, so it needs to be a darker green. That's fine. As mentioned, I had to do these thicker lines and the techniques and the manual adding of lines, because obviously I had to cover up hundreds and hundreds of small blue dots and big blue dots. Hence what's this technique here. If you had a basic shoe with no paint on it, you could obviously do it much more delicately. So just something to point out. You know, you could of course repaint the whole thing grey, start afresh, which could be an idea, which wouldn't be too difficult, I don't think, if you can get a nice paint, the hand paint on. Lessons learned again is to use a different type of masking tape. So I really need a model's masking tape where I can have a continuous line of thin tape all the way around, much deeper in there, rather than having to cut off pieces of 20mm tape. Hence why I've got some seepage, but this is a first sort of version, first effort. But I'm hoping I'll be able to scrape that off later tonight as a little sort of side job. But otherwise, I feel that the paint itself is applied really nicely. Acrylic works nicely, it mixes nicely, it feels good, feels smooth. It's got a nice sort of satin effect on it as well. So I'm pleased in many aspects of that. Yeah, that's cool. So yep, I'm going to look into now I know the colour, I can look into getting, say, a darker colour, get the thin tape, and then I can then have a go on the next pair of shoes, basically, if anybody wants me to do any shoes. Otherwise, I've got a few things lined up as well in the garage. Cool. But yeah, way better than how it looked. So I'm very pleased. And point to note, this is my test shoe. So these lights aren't on, by the way. But running the Air Mag King LEDs, the Gricey Boy bubbles here, Graham Garlick's 3D letters on the back, and the 3D swooshes. These are the latest versions in TPU. Looking really nice. And custom electronics in this one, I think it was. Yeah, custom electronics in there as well. First set prototype. We've got more parts arriving, so we can convert this one here into the same technique as this one. Cool. Thanks all for watching. And yes, took, I would say, about hour and a half ish, I would say. And not a bad job. Cool.